I think in the last 3 years, if I have to plot a graph on how things have gone, they've gone up and up. So I think it's progress for me over the years. With the time that I spent with the team, the time that I spent doing races and training, my experience in the bank has grown bigger, and I think I've been able to use that experience to cash in on better performances over the years. And this year has been my best performance that I've had in all the years in terms of the season. And I've had a good Desert Storm where I was competitive, and also in Pan Africa I put a really good rally together. So it's, and also not to forget Baja Spain where I got top 10. So it's been a good year for me. Well, for all of us folks that are competing, it's the biggest motorsporting event all of us aspire to do well at. It's also one of those races that it attracts the best talent from across the world, and we all show up here to compete on the biggest rally that there is, which is like the Dakar. All the other rallies in comparison are much smaller. They're usually 5-day events, but for the Dakar we have a 12-day race and a 1-day rest in between. So 13 days of pretty much being on the road and competing. And the thing about rallying is, the number of kilometers that we do, there's so much that happens every day. There are so many variables that to be a good rally rider, you have to be able to adapt and make the most of the situations, and also to be in a position where you prepared the whole year and being able to take that preparation to a big race like the Dakar. The scale of the event and the magnitude of the Dakar, you realize when you're actually at the bivouac, to see the number of teams, to see the number of nationalities that are competing, to see the scale of the teams. Everybody from a privateer with a small box is there, to the guys with the big trucks and the motorhomes. So we have a huge graph of people that are there at the Dakar. Also, the Dakar is a race where you just can't take it easy. From the first day, everybody is on it because they know that this is their time to shine, and if you need to shine, it's at this Dakar. So everybody's always putting in a good performance or their best performance for the day, which means it keeps everybody on their toes. Well, the only experience in Saudi Arabia that I have is from watching Dakar's footage of the recce. So from what I can see, it looks like it's going to be a really big desert. And for us, I don't think it's going to be that much alien, because when we race in South America, Bolivia would have a lot of vegetation and tracks. And then you go to Argentina where you would have tracks but also have the open desert. And then Peru would be only sand. So, there was a lot of different terrains in South America, but I think in Saudi Arabia, it's going to be just one big desert. I think navigation is a challenge. Yeah, navigation is a challenge in the sense that if you want to do well in a rally, you need to understand the roadbook a lot better and have a lot more confidence. And the ability, when sometimes every day won't be tricky, but there will be days that are tricky, you need to know exactly where you are at that point in time and to be able to find your way. And to also, over the years, I've made some mistakes with navigation which I've crashed out. Last 2 rallies, I've misinterpreted a double caution, which last year cost me the rally, and the year before it cost me a really big crash. So my understanding of the roadbook is a lot better this year, and I have a lot more trust in my own ability. Well, honestly, the bike looks the same, but in terms of, for me, what we've done with the motorcycle is totally different, because this is the first year I run my own suspension settings. Usually I used to copy what the top guys used to run. Like Joaquim for me was the benchmark, so I used to copy his settings. He's of course a rider that has a lot more speed than I have, and for me it wouldn't work. So I had to learn to be able to have my own suspension settings, and to be able to have someone like Yuho, who's my new mechanic this year. He's also a top suspension guy, so he told me this year that we need to start having a setting that's going to work for me. And he's helped me to build that confidence in my own settings. So for me, the bike is totally different from all the years. So Hero has been somebody that's actually listened to the riders in terms of helping them achieve what they want to do. For me, my thing with Wafi always was that I wanted to spend more time on the rally bike. I need to spend more time in the desert because I don't have the experience like all the other guys. They all come from, enduro, supercross. They've raced at the top of the level in their respective sport. And for me, I come from India, so my pool of experience is very small and limited. And this is something that they've helped me this year. And I think with the more races that I do and the more trainings that I do, it definitely helps my performance.